Esther, I need to give you a trophy. Like every time I join, I think you're one of the first people I see. Can you guys hear me? Good evening, guys. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? I need to know. Sorry. Hello, Gabby. Good evening. Okay, cool. I'm already calling Frank. I'm waiting for him to come through. But as we're waiting, I'm sorry that I haven't gone live like a couple of days. I know I apologized earlier that I was going to be on set for something, so I wasn't going to go live. I apologize, but I'm just apologizing again because it looks like it's been very long, so sorry. Um, okay. I know I saw him right now and then I tried to call, so I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure he's going to come back any second. Okay, yes, great. So have fun now. How are you? Hey, good evening.
Hey, what's up? How you doing now?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. How's it going?
Going well, we thank God.
Okay.
How is how was isolation? How was lockdown for you?
You're saying I was locked down as if it's over. It's
It's over now.
it is.
See, for me, I feel like there was never even lockdown in this country because even amidst everything that was going on, people were just going about their daily lives like as if nothing was happening. So the lockdown was just for announcement's sake. But really,
Yeah.
really, really, people were not on lockdown, so
Yeah, a lot of people, Nigerians are very stubborn now. If it doesn't happen to them, it
hmm,
is as if it's not happening. But
true.
the other people, we know that this is happening. So,
Okay,
um,
great.
yeah.
So I have a lot of questions for you. I'm just hoping that we're able to finish in like 1 hour. I hope we're able to, you know.
Yeah,
But
no problem.
okay. So first of all, let me talk about. There's a video that's been trending. I'm sure you've seen the video of
What
some guy that was on the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire show.
okay.
And the video is quite old, but this is like the third or second time it's resurfacing, and every time it trends. I just want to know how you feel. I'm sure you know the video I'm talking about. I will still talk about it, but I just want to know how you feel whenever you see that video.
Okay, if it's the one of this week. Yeah, the guy that speaks the guy that speaks
Yeah, that one.
the
Mm-hmm.
yeah. When
How do you
I
feel whenever you see the video?
I have lots of it. I even have videos that people but the ones that people are seeing right now are the ones that everybody knows about. I even have one funnier videos and stuff like that. I haven't
Please, you
shared.
should post them. Actually, you should. I feel like you should post them. I mean,
Well, you see, the thing with me is this: I'm not to put it without sounding. I'm not trend hungry. You
yeah,
understand?
I know, I know. I'm not telling you to put it for the trend, but I mean, it's stuff that people would like to see. You know.
I know, but uh, I've thought so. Maybe that's an idea. Maybe I'll just edit something, give them a complete,
Mm-hmm.
just throw it out just once. Yeah. Because me, I'm not. I did that show for like 13 years. So
Mm.
yeah, when when I left, it just ended for me. It ended for me. I'm like, okay, so
Okay, I'm
you know.
Okay,
So
cool. I'm going to come back to those questions about you leaving and all of that because trust me, I have like a whole lot of questions I've been meaning to ask you. But first of all, I still want to talk about this guy. He said he's an obscurantist, and
obscure.
the meaning I know of an obscurantist is somebody who is deliberately trying to conceal or hide the full information of something. But
Yes,
his definition of an obscurantist is somebody who's trying to use English or big words to confuse the average man, if I remember what he said correctly.
his definition now. He's
That's
using
his definition.
yes, from his definition. I think it still applies. He's using
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, based on his context that he was using it, do you feel like he was still correct in his definition?
he was correct because he's using English as a
Mm,
metaphor. Right? You understand?
true. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
So
but that being said, he's actually an obscurantist because he's saying, oh, people shouldn't think he is, and he's saying exactly what he is, and still using a word that is still going to confuse
oh,
people to describe. Like in my head, I'm like, okay, guy, what's the matter?
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. No, English is not like mathematics. English is dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
English,
Yeah.
English is malleable.
Mm-hmm.
That it's it's ductile. You can draw it into wires. You can do a lot
True.
of. You can be very creative with English. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't know. People use English just in a very straightjacketed way. But you could use. There are many ways you could use a word.
English.
Like someone on YouTube, there was a guy I was listening to a channel, a voiceover guy's channel. The guy has an account in the UK, and the first thing the guy said, he said, "Thank you for joining me on this video. I am staggered." That's what he said. He said, "I am staggered." To meet, I'm staggered to meet you. Thank you for watching. I'm like, what's this guy talking about? Yeah, but look, right. So yeah, you can stretch the definition of a word to suit
Mm-hmm.
the context you are using. You
Mm-hmm.
know. So yeah, in a way, I guess you know, it's
For
right.
that one, he shall won because of the context. If not, they would have killed him. I think that's why people are not really digging into that one online because online people, especially Twitter trolls, they're just ready to finish you. But I'm surprised that nobody has talked about the word and the definition in particular. You know,
Leave that thing. Twitter trolls don't know.
and
That's why every time when someone will come throw an insult with bad English, I hack it because you don't know English.
yeah.
I'm,
Can you hear me? Hello. I'm losing you. I'm losing you, or I was losing you. I couldn't hear you. Okay, I can
no,
hear you now.
you can hear
I
me.
can hear you better now. It was
Okay,
breaking up. Yeah.
sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, so people don't know, especially with plurals.
Mm-hmm.
Someone will say something like, uh, "That player does not close his opponent well," and all that very useless English and everything. They'll be coming to leave Twitter people. They don't know how to. Most
Yeah,
of them,
true.
some of them do. Some of them do. They are speaking
Mm-hmm.
technically. Others, most of them, it's a general rule. They don't know, so it's very easy,
Mm-hmm.
to a defense mechanism. Maybe that's why they didn't. They were so enthralled about
Skeptical about yes, I
that,
agree. Yeah.
and they said, "Oh, this guy's funny." No, Twitter people. The thing about Twitter people is that there's a generality of the same reaction to a video, an
Mm.
idea, anything. There's a general reaction, and it's all in a majority sense. It's
Mm-hmm.
always the same. It's always right. Like if a video is funny, eh, they're all going to say it's funny. Even your enemy is going to say, "Well, it's funny." You understand?
Hmm.
And that's what Twitter is different from you, Instagram people.
I know that's why you're active. You're not so active here. In fact, it's as if I'm begging you to be on here. Twitter is your place. I think
I love Twitter
noticed
because
that.
I express myself a lot, but Instagram is just for the gram. You can
Yeah.
pictures, videos, and
Hmm.
promote your business. Stuff like
Okay. So I'm that being said, I'm sure you get a lot of these kind of people on the show, or you got a lot of these kind of people on the show, like
yes.
very often. So can you tell us like some of your most hilarious experiences with people like this on the show?
Well, that guy. Then there was another guy that was staring at the guy was repeating everything. It was quite weird. The guy was repeating everything I said. I'll be like,
Why?
okay, that's why I said it was weird. Very weird guy. Was you would do it, then he would twist his head, trying to mimic my Terrence. I'm on the call. Say hello to everybody. Say hello. Say
Hello,
hello.
Terrence. How are you?
Okay, I'm on video.
Fine.
Terrence,
Did you just say he wants to show? Oh, I can see another person.
there's no purchase. There's no purchase. I told you you're not allowed to make purchase. Hey, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Terrence, please give me like 30 minutes. I'll come to the room to meet you. Okay? I'm busy. Hey, close the door.
Oh, wow.
I have my boys are dangerous people. When they're
Uh,
hard, and now he's telling me he wants to purchase. I told him his purchases
it's
out.
not possible. Okay.
Yeah.
So we were saying, I mean, aside this guy, who else?
Yeah. Um but the funny experiences, there was a guy that was giving, most times I have replies for everybody, but this guy
Hmm.
replies for me. You understand?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the guy. So I was doing it, where it was like a ping pong kind of thing. He
Mm-hmm.
gives, I'm like, oh, okay. He gives me, I give him back, and then the guy made a mistake. The guy said, yeah, he's doing it. Yeah, he'll come and take my job. I said, what? You're gonna do what? Take my job? I said, oh, because you have answers. You feel all it takes to do this job is answer.
Just
I
talk.
said, yeah, and everything. So I put him on the spot. I said, all right, please present the rest of the show. Let's go. You know, I said, don't worry. When the questions come, people up here, act as if you're a host. Ask yourself the question and everything. He started stuttering and everything. So it was a fun episode.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was one with a lady. The lady, the lady got up to parents. Stop making it. The guy, the lady got up to 5 million and answered the 10 million question, and went back to 250. He lost 4,750,000. You know, it was very interesting, and I felt really pain because I was
Wow.
rooting. And for that 10 million question, I didn't know the answer to the question myself. Maybe I should have done more in terms of, because I don't see the questions. You know, I,
Okay.
I don't see the questions. I don't see the answer until they say final answer.
You're
So
on.
if I
Ooh.
don't know the answer myself, and for that particular one, I didn't know it because it was about Nobel Prize winner. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Those questions, like there's a full database of Nobel Prize winners.
Mm-hmm.
It's unknown, uncharted territory. Only very few people know a lot about that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she didn't get the answer. That was very sad. That episode was very sad. Terrence, close the door.
I think I remember there was an episode of someone who won the actual 10 million. I think I remember watching that. A guy, a man, not too
Arrow,
old, like quite young, if I remember correctly.
yes, Arrow Mouth. Yeah, yeah,
The name has to stick because he won.
yeah.
He won. Okay,
Very,
so no, go ahead, go ahead.
no,
You
I
wanted
said
to say something.
No, I said he's a very smart guy. Very smart
He
guy.
has to be. He has to be.
Yes.
Except he had AirPods that were not existing then, and then whenever he asked the question, somebody was telling him the answer. If not,
That
he has to be ridiculously smart.
guy was the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
That guy was the real deal because the guy, after he won, we did
Yeah.
what was special. We invited, top winners to
Winners,
come
yeah.
charity, for causes. So he came again on the show. We asked him one 2 million naira question, one million naira question, very difficult question. We asked him about the the champion of an Olympic shot put event. Shot put
Yeah.
event. We asked it without breaking a sweat. He answered, like that. Just give it to us. He gave the. He just said, Frank, this is the answer. Something Bobka. I can remember. I think something Bobka, and he said, final answer, Frank. Don't even flinch. That's the final answer. I said, what? Are you sure? He said, I told you don't say, are you sure? It's the answer. Come on, Frank, let's go. Time. Then I said, okay. Final. I said, are you sure? Look, you're playing for. He said, I said, final answer. The answer right there. Right answer. Got it. I said, whoa, man, this thing is for DNA. Yeah.
Wow. Did he win the specials?
What?
Did he win
Sorry.
the specials? Did he
Did,
win it? Did he win the
he
he
got the
did.
question. He got it. He got it right.
No,
So,
no.
but
Like were you guys not looking for a particular winner? Was there one person that was supposed to win overall
no,
and
no,
he
no.
won?
See how it works is that we bring in a top winner. The
Yeah.
top come and play for someone like maybe someone who had an accident.
Okay.
You're trying to help the person.
Mm-hmm.
Be there. Then uh, high prize winner would also play alongside the person. So it looks
Mm-hmm.
like they're trying to help the person to get.
Money in.
So when they got to that question, the other two people said, we don't know the answer. He
Mm.
said, and he won 2 million.
Wow.
So I think they stopped at 2 million there because the other question
If
was
we are wow. Wow. Okay. So you hosted the show for 13 years. I picked that when you said that.
13
And
years.
what happened? Did the show stop or you just stopped working for them? What was the
No,
reason why everything stopped?
so I think our major sponsors stopped, could couldn't go on with sponsoring the show. It was quite so. They told us they had to said, hey, can't sponsor because it takes a lot of money to sponsor wants to be a millionaire because you
Mm.
have the lottery regulatory body your back.
Mm-hmm.
So don't ask questions and say, all right, you know what? They have to be sure that you have the fund, the prize fund to pay anybody that wins. Because you
Yeah.
can't go to say, who wants to be a millionaire? You can win 10 million. So the lottery commission has to be there. You have to have a large amount of money waiting to be won. So our sponsor used to provide all, but the sponsor said, hey, they couldn't because of the hard times they were setting in. This was, in the beginning of this change the administration. So
Mm.
the dollar went up and everything. So, well, we said, all right. So, we stopped the show for a while. But another sponsor came in. And when the sponsor came in, I decided to review my terms. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I said, hey, you know what? We have to, we have to do this in terms of percentage. So there was a lot of going back and forth,
Fourth, yeah.
dates and everything. Then all of a sudden, so while we were doing that, the show was relaunched with the new sponsor. They said the new sponsor said that no, actually there was a relaunch with some journalists. I wasn't there because I hadn't finished negotiating.
Okay.
So I think the journalists now depicted that they asked, "Hey, where's Frank?" And I think the people I was working with, I think they let it slip somehow that We are still negotiating. We don't know whether it's going to.
Oh, yeah.
So all of a sudden, the journalists now put one. So I think it was Punch. I think it was the Punch newspaper. It just said Frank from wants to be a millionaire. So I woke up one Saturday morning, heard all over Twitter that Frank was. I delivered a slide. All right, you know what? Negotiations were still ongoing, actually. So I just said, you know what, I'm going to put a stop to all this. Well, what's all? I mean, how can I work at a place for 13 years? They decide that I was dropped. So I went on Twitter and said, I'm not, come on, I want to be a millionaire. He said, I don't get dropped. I can drop. You can't drop me. Drop because I know the work that I put there. I know what I used to get, that level of preparedness.
Yeah.
Come and just ruin my immediate future. I
Mm-hmm.
sure that they didn't drop. So I was livid. So I didn't go on with the negotiation. I just said, hey, you know what? All right, we're negotiating. All right, we didn't reach an agreement. And I've decided to step back. Let nobody tell you that they dropped. So it was a subject. So that was what gave birth to this, my activity on Twitter. Because I was on Twitter. Then some people say, you were sacked. So I started delivering clapbacks. That's how. I'm not going to sit and you tell me that. But if I answered anybody, no, I wasn't. People will say it's a lie. So I said, but with savagery. That's what I did. I kept quiet. Anybody that brings up, I clap. That was when it was becoming an activity. I only tweet football, but when you want to cross, I cross the line with you, and that's it. And most people, most people were saying, "No, you are a role model." So I was tired of that role model because, look, let me tell you, I didn't want to be a millionaire. And every day I did it. I did not start the show by saying, "Hi, welcome to the program. My name is Frank Edoho, your role model." I didn't used to say, "Hey, I'm perfect. Look at me. I'm a saint. You should watch me." No. I came as a human being, normal human being, sat on the chair and said, "Hey, I'm going to ask you 15 questions. And if you answer 15 questions, I guarantee you I'll send you a check for 10 million." That's what I used to do. So why are you now saying, "Hey, you're too big for that"? I said, no, I'm not. On Twitter, there are two things. I cannot mingle. I like mingling with the crowd. So I cannot afford to mingle with the crowd and still be your role model. I say, you have to choose one.
Yeah.
You have to and say, okay, if I'm your role model, I'm supposed to have this air of mystery. But I cannot be chatting with you, interacting and everything. And when you go out of line and I check you now say, "Oh, Frank, you're a role model." No,
True.
it doesn't work like that. So
it doesn't work like that.
Yeah. So I now said to everybody, one of them, I said, this year, anybody that takes me as a role model, you're on. See this Twitter here to mingle with people. I want to impart knowledge, but I can't impart knowledge in politics. In my voice, but the problem is, these initiatives. I'll be hurt if I'm lending my voice to rape, against rape, not lending to rape, not in support, but if I'm saying, hey, kick against rape, because I despise rapists. I despise rapists with all my heart, But I don't want a situation when I'm going to come out and say, I hate rape and everything. Then someone else say, you that used to, you that did this, or you, Frank, you are talking. That's what Twitter does. They don't go to the issue. They now try to kill the messenger. They kill the messenger. So I decided to stick to football. So when somebody crosses the line, I put them in check, and that's it. But sometimes I creep out of my category, and I say something. I just drop some gems, and I leave it there, and that's it. So that's what happened on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That's how I now left. But the sponsor didn't continue, from what I learned, and they haven't done the show since then.
Sorry to cut you. It's just like I saw on the Shade Room that I don't know if you know a show called Martin. I used to watch that. Martin, a show called Martin, that they want to
They-
sponsor. They want to hire Tyler Perry to redo it, and they put a bunch of newbies. And personally, when I saw it, I'm like, who's going to watch this? But I just said, let me read the comments, and every comment I read, even from celebrities, they were like, even if you contract Tyler Perry that we love, who will dismiss you, who will dismiss Tyler, and we're not going to watch that shit because some things are irreplaceable. So you can't bring. There's not another Frank Edoho. Forget the show. Do you understand? There might be other um shows like that, but nobody can give what you were giving in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Maybe if they do another show, somebody else can do it. But as long as it was that, everybody attributed it to you. You
yeah,
understand? It
you see,
couldn't
because
go on.
you know what, I know what, because it happened on Top Gear when Richard Hammond, James May, and Jeremy Clarkson were all fired. They were from the show. No, they fired Jeremy Clarkson, and
Yeah.
Richard May, James May and Richard Hammond said, "Hey, you know, we come as a package. We can't do this. Either you leave him or we all leave." And they said, "Okay." The BBC said, "Leave," and they left. And Amazon took them, and they have their own show called Grand Tour on Amazon. But Top Gear has been, they replaced all presenters. It can never be the same. With even one presenter, that was for three. Mine was for one presenter, but theirs is for three presenters. It's impossible.
Not possible.
It's not possible. Yeah, but you see the irony of all this is this. If you want to replace somebody, if you want someone to do Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, there's a trick to it. Simple trick. You know the trick. If you feel that audiences are not going to be comfortable with another guy doing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, why don't you hire a female host? When you hire a female host, she comes with her own flavor.
Yeah.
So everybody will now say, okay, you know what? Why it looks different is that she's a female. So you know what? Let's restructure. Let's hang on. Let's hear what she has to say.
Mm-hmm.
Be a bit more forgiving. You
Yeah.
understand? They'll say it's different because she's is a female. So let's, and they'll warm up to her, because if you now choose the right, that's when you have to choose the right host. So she now carries it in her own way. She can't afford to be doing Frank Edoho mannerisms.
Yes.
Can't afford to do that. She has to bring her own style. Maybe she'll bring the what's this weakest link lady style, the stern, you
Yeah.
know, style, or it could be, you know, she could be too sympathetic. She could be like a mother on the show, very sympathetic, and she'll be, you know, so emotional. There are many ways to go with it. Then they'll be like, you know what, this is a different take. Not like Frank, but you know, we're getting the idea, the warm up. But it's going to be more difficult for a guy to do. That's what I feel.
So, if they brought the show, if they brought Who Wants to Be a Millionaire back to you now with a proposal saying that they want to start the show again and they're going to work with your terms and conditions and they're going to pay whatever your fee is, are you going to accept?
Oh, like you said, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is like is an iconic show. So I don't know. The terms would have to be overboard for me to come back, because
Your conditions and your fee. Everything is now dependent on you.
yeah, it's not about the fee, because you know what? It's not only about the fee.
Yeah.
Everything, because the memories associated with that show, with people on that show. If I come now, I can't be the same Frank Edoho. I can't. I can't be the same. You know, that I have to bring something new to it, and that can be risky. You know, people may like it, or people now, but if I go with the old same old Frank, which I have, then it might get boring. People be like, was this what I used to watch my whole childhood?
True.
You know, I might the show. So there are many things. You have to pay me a lot of money to come and sit down and do all that and risk myself again. You know, so I'd rather take a chance with another show, and yeah, you know, that's it. But Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I love Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I'm sure I would have walked away, and I would have jumped at the chance to to do the show with a bold new emphasis on the show. Yeah, I think I would have done that. Yeah.
So I mean, you were a lot of people's heroes when both young and old, and I remember that growing up, that was one of the best things that happened to my childhood. Who wants to be millionaire? And the good thing about it was then you didn't need cable or anything, so it was not something about a privileged child or anything. Everybody could watch it, and then it was nothing about it's for the rich or people that are local could not associate it. Everybody, no matter who you are, young or old or rich or poor, everybody had a soft spot for. I don't think I've seen somebody that told me they don't like the show. I don't think I'm yet to meet somebody that's told me, oh, I don't like the show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I'm yet to, after how many years. So how does it feel knowing that, I mean, this is how people saw you 10 years ago, is how people are still seeing you now. Like the love, the respect, every single thing is still there. How does it feel?
Well, you know what? I learned when I started the show. Maybe it's because in Calabar I was a bit famous in Calabar while I was in school because I was doing a radio program, a TV program, and I was also doing shows. I was emceeing shows and stuff in Calabar while I was in the university. But I knew when I went into Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I looked at the show. The show itself, 80% of the work is done. You understand? For the show, the concept, the questions, the way they have to answer the questions. When it gets higher, the drama builds. You understand? So already that's done. The people who invented the show have had a formula. As a matter of fact, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was nicknamed the complete game show. That's the game show that is just complete. You take your time, you win money, people are rooting for you, people are sitting and biting their nails and looking at every question, hoping that you go, and sort of identifying themselves as sat in that hot seat with you, and they are rooting for you to go because you are a representation of themselves. So the show was done. Now the remaining 20% depended on the host. The 80% was the show, the production company doing it, the people working hard to do the questions and everything. That's 80%. For the other 20%, even though it's a fraction of what it takes to make the show successful, unfortunately, it is an important fraction. If you don't get it right, it might make or mar the show. So when people come to me and say, "Hey, you were wonderful," I always take 20% of the feelings people bestow on the success of that show. Just 20%. I know that I can't say, "Oh, thank you," as if I did everything myself. No, 80% were hardworking people working for questions, making sure the lights were perfect, the camera was good, the sound, taking care of the audience and all that work, you understand, as was 80% was for them. So when people come, I'm flattered, but I know very well that the show itself was a winning formula. All I had to do was be the icing on the cake, yeah.
But that being said, this is very generous and kind of you to say. I still agree, and I still say that, I mean, you're Frank and you did a lot for this show, even if you're not the one that answered the questions. But you see, in all honesty, when earlier you said if they bring a woman and maybe she's a motherly figure, she's compassionate, you were everything. You were funny, you were stern sometimes, you had that compassionate thing in you sometimes. And funny enough, there were times where I watch the show and I'll just be like, Frank wants this man to win. And I see the person failing the questions, but somehow, maybe, okay, let's say the question is something is dog, and the guy wants to go to sea. You don't wait for him to go to sea. Just say, is that your final answer? You do it, and if the person is not smart, the person keeps asking and doesn't even know that Frank is trying to help me here to win. And I just watch out for that thing every time I'm watching the show. I don't know if I'm wrong, but I know I always watch out for Frank is going to help this person, or Frank will say this thing when the person gets the question. I mean, you don't do it all the time, but maybe when you've seen the struggle, or you don't want him to go home without anything or something.
The time I was 100% like that was when there will be a woman in the hot seat. If it's a female in the hot seat, I'll try as much as like, hey, this Frank is trying to do this. Frank, people were saying Frank was helping this thing. I said, yes, I was. But sometimes, when the show started, I had my own take. And when I did it for like some episodes, they called me, had a meeting with me, said, please, the hypertension is too much. I used to build, you see all that suspense.
Yeah.
They sent me messages. They said, Frank is getting too, Frank, careful. They'll be like, careful, Frank. Don't build too much drama. I used to do drama. All that one I did in 10 years of the show, that's not drama. That wasn't drama. There was one time that somebody got it right, and I said the person was wrong. Since the guy walked away, then I called him back and said, I was joking, you were right. And the person came down and sat down. And so nobody knew where I was going. Even the people that did the questions in the room, they'll be looking for the answer. Say, but this is the right answer. Now, what the heck is he doing? They said that's the right answer, and he said it's wrong. Then after the person has walked away, I said, I call him back. He was right. After we've, so they now come again. The guy will now sit down. So when other people were wrong, they'll still be sitting looking at me. I say, but really, you're wrong. And they will be walking away and be looking at me. I used to build the thing up. They said, that there are old people watching the show, that we should be careful. No, it was serious. So I just said, okay, all right, I'm going to tone it down. But sometimes I want to bring it, and they'll be saying, so my executive producer will send me a message, Frank, I know what you're doing. Stop it. And yeah. So
that was, like I said, you were a lot of people's heroes, and that point in time was amazing, because in as much as, like you said, 80% is the show and everything, there's nobody that's watched the show so far that cannot say you impacted in them in one way or the other. The host the show is another thing to see that the host is not just hosting, that the host is intelligent.
Yeah.
People saw sides of you that we needed to know, that okay, they didn't just put somebody to host the show and the person is doing a fantastic job at hosting. The person has sense, the person is, all of those things were combined, and it made my childhood in particular.
I'm thankful to the owner of the show who took a chance, on me. Took a chance on me. Just looked, and something told him, go with this guy, because there were a lot of popular people that auditioned. When I was not known, I was just a radio presenter from Radio Nigeria, and I just did the audition. Look, when we went for the audition, there were the people that were coming out. I was just looking. I just said, hey, Frank, you don't stand a chance. You don't stand a chance. I said, look at, is it this guy? I said, look at this. This one is here. This one is here. Even broadcasters, top broadcasters. And it just so happens that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was hosted by, top broadcasters, top in the whole world. In England, it was Chris Tarrant. Chris Tarrant was a national treasure. People knew him. In America, it was Regis Philbin. Regis Philbin was a landmark in American broadcast history. You understand? So everybody was just top presenters. In India, it was Amitabh Bachchan, the actor. The man was a legend. And because of that, in Nigeria, the Indians in Nigeria loved me. Why? Because I was a representation of their legend back home.
Yeah.
That's how the guy was. Amitabh Bachchan. I used to watch his movies when I was a kid with Dharmendra. Amitabh Bachchan, there was one movie called Sholay that they did together. It was a classic movie. So the guy was the host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in India. But so when they were doing auditions here, it was just right that they had to choose a legend already. But they chose an unknown me.
It's a legend.
Yeah. They just chose an unknown me, and the guy took a chance. So I really give the guy credit for me. Femi Ayeni, he's the guy. He took a chance on me. He just said, you know what, I'm going to do this. Yeah.
Okay, so then I don't need to ask the next question, because by you saying this, it means that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire already opened doors for you that, as Frank Edoho, you'd never felt you would have gone through. But as Frank Edoho, the host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, it was easy for you to just get through.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, it opened doors. But let me tell you, what I am now, I knew I was going to be. Maybe that's why it fell on my lap, because see, as a kid, I suffered. I came from real poverty. Real poverty. The thing that used to console me there was I used to read like hell. I used to soak up knowledge, and I would remember. And my dad was like an orator. You know, my
Mm-hmm.
dad. I don't speak English. My dad speaks. Used to. Well, he passed on about 2 years ago. So he used to speak like an orator. My dad, you do something. If we will look forward to offending my dad because we know English is going to happen. You know, English is going to happen. So my dad will go like, when I do something wrong, he will now summon you and say something like, you know, say you did this, you did that. What do you have to say for yourself? I'll just be quiet because I'm waiting for the English to come. Then he will just look at my sisters and said, see, he doesn't even have the moral compunction to apologize. You know, that's the kind of English my dad used to speak English. My dad would say, "Oh, instead of saying you are going to the wrong path," he would say something like, I say I had so much bright hopes for you, but you are totally derailed." You know, stuff like that. I'll be like, so I used to go to the dictionary a lot, go look for meanings. I used to read. I used to read the dictionary. So I'll know, and the thesaurus really helped. So instead of saying, um, I'm happy to meet you, I'll go something like, I am enchanted and delighted to meet you. You know, so I do a lot of that, and that's what really, helped me. But so because I had all that, I just felt I can't have all this without being something in future. So I never used to think about the situation, how poor we were, or say people will say, you can't make it. These people in click. I came from Calabar and came to Lagos. And when I was leaving Calabar, I told them I'm going to Lagos. And they told me, don't go to Lagos, so you will not make it. I said, why? He said, everything is a click. There's a click in Lagos, which was true, And I told them, I said, okay, you know what? I, I have to go and create my own click there, you know. And I left. So, and that taught me not to tell my plans to anybody. If you want to be a success, don't tell your plans to anybody, not even your family. Because when you tell them your plans are made for you. Your destiny is for you. That's your destination. If you tell someone else they have other destinations, it seems absurd to them. And they'll now tell you that, look, I don't think, because they can't do it. And they'll brush it off. So, unbeknownst to them, they're killing your dream, but it's not their fault because they don't know any better,
Oh.
you know. So keep it to yourself. Don't say anything. Do it. And so that they'll come and say, wow. I mean, wow, you really knew how to do this. Why didn't you say anything? You
Yeah.
know? It's better that way than
Mhm.
telling anybody, even your parents, don't. Don't. Just do it. And they will say, wow. When I told my dad, I told my dad I was going to go into broadcasting, he was telling my sister, oh my goodness, this guy, what's wrong with this guy? Can't be a doctor, be an engineer, can't be a lawyer. What's broadcasting? When he saw me on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, he tapped my sister. My sister, when he watched me together, he said, he told my sister, that's my son. My sister said, really, really, and stuff like that. So don't tell anybody, because even the people you care most, they might end up doing things to you. They might, dampen your spirit, and it might cause a whole lot of problems. So I learned that. So
Wow.
I knew, I had an inkling that I would be there. I didn't know what the vehicle would be for me to get there, but I felt that, okay, I think I can get there. But he just came. When he came, I said, oh, so this is it. You know, that's what happened.
Amazing. So, I mean, I know a lot of people get nervous when they want to do stuff, especially people that are in front of the camera. So for you, you did this for 13 years. And I know artists that have been relevant for like 10, 20 years and they still tell me that they still get stage fright. You know, maybe they have to drink something before they go on stage, or when they go on stage and they perform the first song, then they get into it or whatever. For you, was it always like that? Because I don't think it was every time, or I don't even think it was live. Like when you were shooting it, is when you were watching it. I think it was just shot and then edited and then we watched it. So for
Yeah.
some people, that helps them to calm their nervousness because they know that people are not watching immediately. But the fact that there's an audience there, for some people, they can't handle it. So were you always nervous every single time you went to present the show?
One time was I nervous. Why? Do you know
No,
why?
you were nervous.
I was never ever never, not even one time. You know why?
Why?
Let me tell you. It's very simple. Very simple. If most people would know this, it help them. Very simple. Be yourself. Be yourself. If you're going to be nervous, if you say, "Oh, okay, there's a microphone here. Oh, I have to be okay. What am I going to do?" You are now trying to act. So not only are you presenting, you are acting. Two jobs. It's
True.
so you know what you do. You do what you've been doing since you were born. Being yourself.
This thing you're saying is so true. When I wanted to start this show, I remember like I was doing a rehearsal with my brother the first time because we've been planning this since last year and it wasn't supposed to be live sessions, you know. And I remember when I saw you go live with somebody and I told you, "Oh, how far? I saw you talking about the show." I'm like, "I want to do the show." And you were like, "What's up? What are you doing?" I told you what it is. You were
Uh,
like, "Start." And I was supposed to start that week of my birthday, but I was still a bit like I was contemplating. So it was almost like this was a confirmation from God. I just needed you to tell me, start this
yes,
thing. And
I said. I said just start it.
that
Yes.
started like when I was rehearsing with my brother and I started, "Oh, good evening," I started speaking Queen's English that I was still trying to, you know, and my brother was like, "Chamak, I don't understand. It's not like you speak bad English on a normal day or you're not intelligent. Why are you trying to, I mean, nobody's saying you shouldn't have composure and all that, but don't put yourself in a box where when you make a mistake, even if people don't notice, you now become uncomfortable all through the end of the show. Be the you that we know you can do this thing." So when I did it, he first laughed and I busted out laughing too with him, you know. And then I just started, I'm like, you know what, that day when I did the first one on Fireboy, I just did it and then that's it. I just continued going. So every time I want to come on the show, I'm thinking, "Oh, how am I going to start? What's my opening statement?" But once I start, it just flows because I'm not trying hard to be somebody, which is very good. What you're saying now, that's like just the confirmation of it.
That is the mistake people do, especially broadcasting.
Mm,
You know, I'm not saying you cannot garnish it a little.
exactly.
I'm not saying that. I'm not
Mm,
saying you because you speak like a market person in
okay.
real life, and you now start to come out. So this just with decorum, a bit of professionalism,
Yeah.
but most especially you are just yourself. If you are yourself, like I wanted to comment when you started interviewing me, I wanted to say because I haven't watched. There was one I stumbled upon you, but I don't know what happened to my internet connection. It just went off.
Okay.
So before I got it back, when I went to my router and reset it, by the time I came back, I think you had finished. So
Okay.
I didn't. What I wanted to say now is that you are doing it so naturally. You understand? It's so natural. Natural. That is the secret that people don't know. I've been telling students I've been talking to. I said, see, if you can be yourself, if you can be yourself, right from my broadcasting years in Calabar, I was on TV and radio in Calabar. I was emceeing in Calabar. When I came to Lagos, I was on DBN TV. I was in Radio Nigeria. I did Wants to Be a Millionaire. And I did a lot of radio shows. I appeared a lot. I was always myself. You know why? I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm comfortable. And I know that, look, I have a pack. You see, another thing comes with preparation. I have a ton of lines. I have a ton of knowledge. So I can always dip into. When I say knowledge, I'm not saying like oh, I am well read in terms of I studied animal science. I'm not saying I'm the best animal scientist,
Mhm.
but what I'm saying is that I have a wealth of knowledge of things and experience. Anything you are talking about now, I can draw from my wealth of experience and say
Yeah.
something else, and I can use it as my arsenal to continue to, you know, just flow in my presentation. So I never was nervous because I know, as a matter of fact, sometimes, you know, who wants to be a millionaire, when we present, we'll stop. Then there's a comedian that comes to make people laugh and everything. I used to stand with the comedian sometimes. That's how confident I was. I used to stand, and me and the comedian would be throwing jokes. I remember Sheilo, you know, when patent shoes came out for men first, you know, so Sheilo came out. Sheilo was wearing one very nice shirt with letters and everything, you know. So I stood there with him, and as he said I should go now, that it's his turn now. I said, I just want to watch you go. As I was watching him, so he was now using me. He wanted to yab me.
Yeah.
So little did he know that I'm the king of clapbacks. So he looked at my shoes and said, "Oh, my patent shoes, because they were glossy." He said, Frank, I like your police. He said, I like your policeman shoes, you know, and everything. I looked at it. I said, oh, thank you, thank you. And I looked at him. He was wearing a shirt with letters, you know, and everything. I said, well, wearing policeman shoes is better and everything, but it's better than using Punch newspaper to sew a shirt, you know. It just came. Everybody, the whole audience, they scattered. Then we started. He gives me palm, I give him palm. I was there for him till when he pushed me, the whole audience said, don't leave him there. Leave him. You know? So
Yeah.
that's what it was. I had a lot of things in my head because if you read a lot, you just have information flying around in your brain. And when the time is right, you pick one and use it while you're talking.
Very.
You know? So that's it.
So,
You
guys,
know?
what Frank is saying is he's not saying don't better yourself. He's saying better yourself. You can always be better, but you shouldn't pretend. Bettering yourself is different from pretending.
That's it.
So,
You know,
yeah.
people like most people have like the American accent, the
Mm-hmm.
British accent and everything. That's fine. That is fine. You see what broadcasting is, and I'm happy that I learned it earlier, is that it's not how you say it, it's what you say. Is what you say first that is important. Then a little bit of how you say it so that it will be memorable for someone.
Yeah.
Second factor, people switch it. They go, oh, how I say it is the most important thing. Then they now bring less relevance to what they're actually saying, you know?
You know,
So
yeah, go
go
on.
ahead.
I
Go
want
ahead.
to
Okay. You know, when I want to talk to someone, when I want to do a present, okay, like today I had an MC job today.
Yeah.
At there was one promo that was happening. So I went there. You know what happened? I just said something like, when I started, I didn't start the regular way. I just said, hey, Frank, how are we going to start? I said, you know what? Let me just wing it. You know, so I just used what I saw. It was, I sat down. There were people, you know, with masks and everything, you know. So I didn't go like, hey, welcome to, I didn't do that. I just said, I said, this pandemic has really been hard, right? That's how I just went. I said, it's been hard. It's been hard. There are many reasons now. The economy has taken a toll on the economy. It has affected, you know, people that used to earn salaries and half salaries. Some people don't even earn salaries. It's an emotional experience and everything. But one thing people don't think about is, I said, one thing people don't think about is the mask hides the problems and hides revelations. Like, you don't even, nowadays you don't even know who your enemy is. So when you guys meet, because of the mask, the person you're supposed to see a smile is not there, you know. So we meet ourselves and say, hi, happy to meet you, but you can't see it, you know, because the mask, you know, hides everything. Say, but I want you to know the solution. According to somebody in the past, the eyes are the windows to the soul. Look deep into the person's eyes and you will know what they are feeling. right now I feel elated to be here. Welcome. This is the. That's how I just did it. One guy. That's it. Just happened. Linked it. It was not. Look, let me tell you. I was talking nonsense.
So you were.
I was talking, but because I linked it, and I had a landing spot, and I just said, welcome and everything. It was, and that's everything. I just came from another direction. They weren't expecting it, and I got them throughout. So everything I did was right. Just everything. Just finished. We did it. I went very professional. You see, so what you are saying matters more than how you're saying it.
True. I mean, what I was going to say, they're going to cut us. I'm going to cut off and come back if you don't mind, so that I can.
No.
But what I was going to say is, I remember I was having a discussion with someone, I think in 2015, and I was telling the person that I respect. I mean, in as much as I wanted to be or I want to be a presenter and all of that, I respect people that are on radio a lot. Why? Because on radio nobody can see your face. So for me to like you and know you, it takes a lot, because it means that I'm only listening to you and I'm trying to pick your brain, and every time you say something, I'm trying to enter your brain and decipher what you're thinking, be in the same headspace as you. So I don't know if you are so gorgeous, or if I don't even care how you look, but for you to be able to speak, and every time you speak, I want to put this station on 90 something point whatever and listen to you, it takes a whole lot. You must be speaking a lot of sense. But you can put anybody on TV, and if the person is a pretty person or a handsome man, sometimes nobody's listening to what you're saying. They just look at the face, and you get away with a lot of bullshit thinking that you're doing well. But people will stay because they are your fans. It's just like people that post a lot of Instagram and nobody has heard them talk. When you hear them talk, you'll be like, okay, so this is how this person sounds. God, mad, So I always tell people, radio is the difficult one. I mean, yes, people are on TV and then they make a lot of sense, but radio is quite hard, because when somebody says something, 1, 2, 3 sentences, and it's not making sense, you will switch off or tune to something else. But on TV, you be giving her a chance, okay, or him, let's hear what he has to say. Maybe he has not reached his point, stuff like that, because you're enjoying what you're seeing, or even maybe something there, maybe a decoration there that you like or something. So what you're saying now is actually so true. It's actually, So I don't want Instagram to cut me. So let me just cut off and come back.
Okay. I'll be waiting.
Okay. Jimmy. You're not allowed to use my line on me. It's cannot. That word is specifically for you, from me to you with love. So you can't give it back to me. It's for you. I give you. Okay, so we are waiting for Frank to come back. I can't wait for Friday, Jimmy. I'm waiting for you to come and give me. Yeah, okay. Okay, we're back.
Yeah.
Okay. So, my next question. I know you take a lot of great pictures. I mean, I've seen.
Oh.
And yes, I've been your muse mistakenly, if you remember. So
yes.
Yes. So you take great pictures, you do production, and you do editing as well. So what are you? Is there a path like you're trying to build? Is that for something? What's that for?
That was the major part. This broadcasting thing is the thing that interrupted me. That was the major part. That's my real passion. Production and the photography one I learned later because my wife is an interior designer, so I had to go into photography just
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, but video video production, cinematography is what I really wanted to do. Found out that they are symbiotic. The photography thing really aids your cinematography and vice versa. So yeah, I am, that's my actual passion. Love production so much better than presentation. Presentation to me is like, eh, well,
It's just something that you do, like it's in you. So yeah.
found out that, oh, this presentation thing can earn me money. Okay, let me just be doing that thing while I'm getting, and then fairness, and then production was a very, now the cameras are becoming more available to practice, because then you, if you shoot with a cinema camera, wow, you have to spend a lot of money learning. But now there are online resources. You can take one camera. As a matter of fact, people shoot movies even with their iPhone, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so yeah, that was my passion. Since it became more accessible, even when I was doing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I was doing, cinematography at the latter, like 3 years before it ended. That's when I started doing my cinematography thing. So when it ended, I now focus on, I do content production, the creation, and I do a lot of things I do behind the scenes. You know, right now, right now I'm even editing. Me and my guy, we're editing something program. He's over there editing. Yeah,
So
so that's,
no, go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so yeah, that that has been my passion. I love it. I'm a certified colorist. A color, the person that you, after the movie, you give your film to and color it to look nice and everything. But, um, and then I entered photography. I used to edit with Lightroom. Now I've entered Photoshop. I'm Photoshop. I've entered Photoshop and I'm doing it. I learned it during this pandemic thing. I've been trying for the past 4 years. I've bought courses, just kept them there. When I go, it seemed bogus, but I just looked for the most interesting way to learn Photoshop, and that's from the photographers and the cinematographer perspective, not the graphic designing perspective. Just, and that's when it clicked. So yeah, I'm into photo. Yeah.
So speaking on production and all that, what should we is there a project you're working on that you are, is this something you can share? What should we be expecting from you?
Before the pandemic, I was I wanted to do my talk show. Now, you see the problem with the talk show and the problem with me doing so is quite simple. The problem is that I did Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So if I want to do a talk, it has, at least the production level has to be almost at par. That's one. Then secondly, how the resources to do a talk show. If you want the crowd to be there, you need to have huge space. So if I have a huge space, am I going to be hiring a space to do a talk show first? Now, if I hire the space, am I going to be erecting my set every week and mantling? So you have to own it, you know. So I was thinking now that I would do a talk show in a smaller space, just a smaller space, so that you know um, I could now bring in my production knowledge and max that space and make it worthy, production worthy. You know. So that was before the started. It slowed me a bit down for the talk show. But the problem is, the space and the pandemic. Nobody. I want to get sponsored, but I think because of the pandemic, it has slowed down. I don't want to sponsor a talk show you know, in the thick of a global health scourge. So I decided to slow it down just a bit and see, if this money that bakes, I could, get back to it. But I've been doing production for clients. That's what I enjoy. Production for clients. I do production for did I say that my wife is an international award-winning interior design? Did I?
Yes.
Hey,
Share
I
around
said
this one.
I said it before. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just checking.
Yes. You did. You did.
Oh yeah, you yeah, the production thing. I do a lot of. I don't like posting my creation because I've learnt a lot in this industry. To be, you can't be doing everything you're doing. Otherwise, everybody would you have to have that air of mystery. That's one thing I learned on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. In my life and everything, you have to have is. I mean, now it's basically impossible with a broadcaster because everybody will see you and you are on social media. You have to be posting and stuff like that. I don't post anyhow. I don't post anyhow. When I post, and then I'll just chill. But I post a lot on Twitter, but I don't post my content on Twitter. So I just do it, so that people will not figure it out. When people see you, they'll be like stunned. I handle the camera at some event, and people are looking at me in utter shock, as if they want to have a cardiac event. As they are looking at me, why is he holding a camera? Why is he holding the camera? And they see me, I'm tweaking and everything, working with my people. I'm getting the shot right. They're just looking at me, stunned. Because in Nigeria, people think if you hold the camera, that is all these young boys that are supposed to be holding cameras and everything. But in Hollywood, the people that handle the camera are worshipped and revered. Old people. You see, the guy that won the last Oscar, Roger Deakins, has white hair all over. When he won the Oscar, everybody stood up because if you know that art, the art of cinematography is very respected. So I make sure I have an air of mystery. So I don't really reveal what I do, but I do it in bits and.
Okay. So that means the next show you're going to go to start is your own show. So give or take, we're looking at December, January.
Those are one of the things. There are many people been approached with. I've been approached by many people, many show concepts. Even during this pandemic, I've always been approached. No, sorry.
You don't want to take any?
No, I'd rather not. I'd rather not. That's the thing. I did once be 13 years. So now I'm now going to go one. I'm going to now host one reality show. Really.
Okay.
That's the problem. That's the problem I'm having. But it's not that, okay, I had an offer for The Price is Right. It's an international show. And I was unraveled as the host of The Price is Right. But unfortunately, owned by my friend. But the franchise was owned by him in Nigeria. But unfortunately, he couldn't start it. It didn't come to fruition because I think it's difficult. When Who Wants to Be a Millionaire started, there was not too much internet, not too much cable. Everybody was watching TV. When it now continued, that's when cable came a bit. Then cable was accessible to everybody. Then after that, then internet started being people. But then it was sometimes people will still go back to it. But now you come up with a show, someone will be looking, a company will say, I just sponsor one skit. Why did I sponsor one skit by Brother Shaggy, who I love, or MC Macaroni? That's my guy.
Oh my God.
I love that guy so much. That's the guy, So why don't I sponsor? That's the problem. So if you're gonna come with content, you better bring your A game to impress. Yeah, and that's why everybody must learn a bit of production. Yeah.
Anyways, we miss you. We miss you so much on TV. So
That's why everybody says. But hey, it is what it is. But there are stars nowadays. Now there are some stars on TV now. That's
We are seeing them on TV. That's the problem. We're not seeing you yet. We miss you. Me, I want to see you on TV. So
uh,
by November like this, I'll start buzzing you like how far? How far?
uh,
Give you
why
September
not?
and August.
Why November?
I'm just letting you know.
Ah,
I'm just going to give you I'm just dashing you August and maybe October. But November like this, pandemic oh, no pandemic oh. I'm just going to
uh,
see you. How
you know,
far? That's what I'm
look.
going
Let
to
me tell you. I love radio. I think you're gonna hear radio. I love it a lot because radio is where I can be myself. I used to, and I have this wide, knowledge of music. I listen to. I'm very clear in terms of music, but the thing that binds the music together is the melody. I know everybody's into Nigerian music and everything, and Nigerian music, I love it. There was before the pandemic, I was listening to Nigerian music 6 months straight. I never foreign music, 6 months because and I was listening to people that you won't think I'll listen to. I'll listen to people like Lighter,
I
Pepenazi, people like um, some people you wouldn't think
you
that.
know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because I choose their sweetest music. I listen, I listen to people like Lil Cash, I listen to Fino a lot. I have a lot of Fino because he has that, Igbo vibe that I love so much. I listen to a lot of Fino. And Olamide, I have almost, I have like 20 favorite Olamide songs, but people won't know that. Yeah. But also, I listen to Billie Eilish. I listen to,
Mm-hmm.
I listen to Halsey. I listen to there are new people that people don't know, like Julia Michaels, like Kate and Macy Kate. I listen to. I'm very eclectic, and I'll listen to one whole album. Maybe when I'm working at night, I'll be listening to one whole album, or I'll listen to 3 albums, and I can choose only 2 songs, 3 albums, and I'll favorite it. So I have like a collection of sweet songs. So I'm thinking of packaging a radio program, to indicate, want to see how that goes. I love radio and just musical programs. So maybe that's what you're gonna hear.
Okay, so that's going to be before the TV show.
That one
So
can happen because now, I do. Uh, it's all about getting a dynamic microphone that will cut, even though you are seated there. If you have a look as if you are in the studio, so you just present, and you can edit your stuff, put the music in it, and deliver it to a radio station. I mean, nobody like you're sitting there. Don't just think radio. You can. It's only TV or appearing on TV. You could also be going into radio and make it interesting. Just have one 30-minute package it, and who knows, ship it out to companies and see, hey, I have this thing. I can structure it to fit your platform. You will be surprised what could happen. So everybody has a creator in them. You have to just learn how to do it a bit, do it, and start marketing. That's it.
thank you.
Hmm.
So, I mean, you've basically answered my next question. I was going to ask you what you were able to achieve in COVID. Was it a learning curve, or was it a
Learn.
productive period for you, or was it a waste? You already said how you learned Photoshop and stuff. So you
Yeah,
basically it was very good for you, I'm guessing. Or
yeah. So now I'm going. I want to take photography to the next level. I would have loved to do portrait photography. The thing I'm looking at now, wedding photography, but I'm looking at that. I just love.
except you are somebody else is doing it for you, not you yourself.
You see, that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's
With
the problem.
any other thing, I'm fine. But wedding photography, trust me, not you.
Let me. So in my photography journey, I do interior photography, right? But so there was one time my wife's birthday. It was my wife's birthday. I said, okay, let me do a portrait of everybody. So I did a portrait, and that time I didn't learn how to do retouching. So I went to YouTube. There's this YouTube channel called Pix Imperfect. So just went there. I just said how to. and I did it step by step because it was nice. I liked it. Or that I felt I was now bitten by, but to do portrait photography also. You see, all right. So I now went into the fray, and I learned a bit of portrait photography. Then when I and I said, okay, let me go to the internet and find out what portrait photographers are doing. I stumbled on a group of wedding photographers. Hmm? You know what? I have my iPad here. Let me show you what human beings are doing in wedding photography. You see all this wedding photography you are seeing here, rubbish. Let me show you. Let me show you why you should never look at somebody doing something and saying, well, oh, the wedding photography. No, no, no. That one will not be for you. That one will not be. I would show you samples of pictures and want you to tell me what you think about wedding photography if someone can deliver photography in Nigeria. Let me go to the gap.
What happened to your hand?
Exercise.
Oh wow, okay.
Don't worry, it's nothing too serious. Okay, let me show you. You see this?
Yeah.
That's wedding photography. See that?
Yeah.
See this?
Hmm.
Look at that's
Awesome.
that's
Yeah.
wedding photography. Look at this. The people are somewhere down there. I don't know if you see them. You know,
Oh, this is beautiful.
wedding photography. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Wedding photography. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at this is, and if they show you behind the scenes, look at this. So I saw that, and I saw the tools they were using to create and paint with light and everything. And I just fell for it. I loved it. I loved it. So I said, the fear that you have is the same I have. I mean, everybody said, "Is he a wedding photographer now?" Oh, jeez, jeez. But you see, don't allow what people will think, huh? To disturb your vision. Don't allow what people will think to disturb your vision. That when people start seeing what you do, those same people will have to pay a premium to get you. Somebody said something. I read something. I read a lot of things. So I read something. Someone said, think of if Rihanna, have you seen Rihanna do? Like when you see this girl saying, okay, you have to make up like this.
Yeah.
Rihanna, she has a multi-million-dollar makeup line. Now, what if Rihanna talk? Well, I'm not a YouTuber.
Doing this.
Make so someone said Rihanna said, "Oh, feels like this. We should have that. Think about it." So every business because it depends on your product. If you give a product and people like, what? Okay, what if I showed you one of those pictures? I said, I took that actually.
It's a different ballgame. Sure.
And you did say yes. There's a magic to it. So you have to make sure reverse in your intentions. Make sure that the product is solid. Then you can pray. And everybody will look at you. What are you doing here? Then you show sample pictures. This is what I'm doing here. And like, oh, really? Then when they see it, before you know, everybody will like apart from the fact that he presents the photographer. That's it.
Hmm. Okay. So I mean, you've told us how your headspace is or was before COVID, even with music and all of that.
Mm.
trust me, sometimes you answer like 3 questions in one sentence, and I'm just like ticking my questions and the answers, which is very good. And I just my final question before we go.
Mm.
Aside production and like you said, how much passion you have for production, photography, and all that, is there any other field you want to explore aside media production and all those things? Is there any other thing you feel like you want to also dive into?
Well, some people come to me for movies. Annoying.
You should act. Trust me.
No, no, no. Can't do that.
Oh. Okay, so you don't. That's it. You're good with production, nothing else.
No, I'm good in acting too. But I'm not gonna do it.
Why?
Do you know how much these guys are paid?
I do. I know, but it's not so. I mean, if you want to compare it to Hollywood, it's terrible.
It, no, no, I'm not comparing it to Hollywood. I'm comparing it to itself. It's bad.
There, I mean, I've not even gotten to where I want to be, but it's not so bad anymore. I mean,
Is
because let's take for instance, or compared to Hollywood, if we're not going to compare to Hollywood, Hollywood can use 6 months to shoot a movie. Nigeria, in a week, we are done with production. I mean, I was on set, so I couldn't come live, and we started shooting on Friday last week, if I'm not mistaken, and we finished today this morning. But I finished mine in 3 days or thereabouts, my scenes, and we shot back to back like that. So that's less than 1 week. Friday till now, we've shot an entire movie, and that's how it is for Nigeria. So now, if you are a hot cake in the industry and everybody wants you in their production, it's safe to say that you can shoot 6 movies or 7 movies in a month, depending on the production time. Some people might use 1 week, some people might use 2 weeks. So I'm not going to use this 4 days or 5 days as a benchmark. So let's say give or take 1 week or 10 days. If you do 10 days, that's 3 movies in a month. If you do some people 10 days, some people that's maybe 4 movies in a month. Now I know I have friends that collect 1.5, 1.6, 1.2, depending on who they are. If we are collecting 1.5 million naira per movie, and you shoot 4 movies in a month, I mean, it's not. It's for what we know when it comes to being in the limelight is absurd. But generally for Nigeria, it's not so bad if you look at it that way.
madam, how many people in the movie collect
You'll be shocked.
5,000?
You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. That's what I'm telling you. As
I'm
of
asking
last 2 years, a lot of people. As of last 2 years, I won't be having this conversation with you.
not everybody is a major star. Like even in
People, though, I'm talking of people that are my friends that I know that I mean they have maybe 200k followers, 800k followers, like people that are just
major,
job.
there are major stars. When you say major stars, what comes to mind is okay in the cadre of Richard Moffat, Damijo, Genevieve, Motola. Let me say the Jim Ikes of the world. Those ones are established. Those ones are established. Now, people like you, I don't know how you make, and I don't know how many movies you've made so far, and how many movies you've made this month so far. Yeah, this is like the third. We're getting to the third week of the month. I don't know how many movies you've made, and everything. So, but the thing is this: I'm not comparing it to Hollywood. I'm comparing it to itself. These movies that are made on a week and you appear, you look at the script and you go and you just do it, you finish. Does it mean that you have another do you have another script waiting for you to grab immediately and you do it? And how long have you done it? You see, you can't make a career. Look, to me, I'm very sorry to I'm sorry. Let me apologize to my friends in the movie industry in Nigeria. Sorry, maybe I'm just blabbering. But you know what? What I could make as an MC for a 3-hour event, you are still shooting your 1 week movie.
True.
As an MC,
True.
shooting that thing. I did it in 3 hours. Maybe I probably have an event on Wednesday, I have on Saturday. Already, I've earned
That's for some people's 1 month.
and stuff like that. So I'm thinking, what is the point? To me, what's the point? Movies, there's no how in I think it's because of the practitioners of the movie industry, and also maybe because of the cinemas. Because I hear put a movie in cinema, you as a producer suffer because the cinema will take huge chunks of money. What kind of business is that? That
Even at that, they are still making money to be able to pay each actor 5, 10 million naira per shoot. But these are not things we want to talk about because we both know why. But if you want to go into this proper, I'm just trying to say compared to before, where even in media houses, how many people were paid 100,000 naira per month as a radio presenter? So a lot of people did not see media people as people that had money,
yeah, true. But
passion, and then you make
but,
your money on the side from
but
something.
they'll look at you and this person can deliver lines, or this
Mm-hmm.
person can confidence. So you can endorse, you can come even act movie. So
Now,
it goes into a lot of things. Someone can say, okay, you know, I have a script for you to do voiceovers and everything. So it's all encompassing.
yes. Yes. So people like you that did it for the passion. Do you understand? Now people enter the industry because they feel like there's money there, and they enter acting and they're like, okay, it's not, be like how I see him. Do you understand? Then they now understand that people that are there are doing it for the passion, not about the money, and are trying to run businesses on the side to make money. So what I'm saying, compared to 2 years ago or 3 years ago that we were having the same complaints we're having now, there's been a little progress. So you can get better. I'm not saying it's great. Trust me, I've never ever said anywhere that it's great. But I'm saying it can, for at least for us to be able to see that there's a benchmark, like they've entered the millions range and everybody can come out, and in 3 months you are charging somebody 1 million naira to shoot a movie, depending on how good you deliver and when you show your worth. It means that there's progress, because before, year out, you've been shooting for 10 years, but they will never pay you 200K per movie, no matter who you are. Even the people that we know now. So now people are coming out from nowhere, and then next thing you're on this show on YouTube, you're on this show on Iroko, you're on this show, and next thing, I mean, those people have the stipulated monies they pay you. So it doesn't mean that because you're on Iroko, they're going to get a 1 million naira job. Those ones pay you differently. Whatever they pay you is different. But I'm saying generally, when you get roles and producers, directors begin to see you, it's the benchmark has changed. So if I know I'm shooting for these people that pay this, it's different. I know that I'm shooting a proper movie, is different. So there's been a change. I mean, I can say there's a change, which is a good thing. So we
And
really look forward to
I'm happy. But
getting better.
you people, don't worry. I don't want to upset you people's money. You understand? So you people, the space I'm creating in this, people can take it. Take it. Yeah.
Okay, so I maybe one day when they start paying us 10M per show, not even for the movie, just to appear, pay 10M. I'm sure I'll see you in the industry acting.
It's an to hire you people the movie because there's money. There's now money.
Mm-hmm.
I'll come as a director or cinematographer, then I'll shoot my own movie and they'll get and pay you. But as movie, I'm not the guy. I'm not.
Okay, so first of all, before we go, I just want to say it's very safe to say I'm one of the few people that we can say is an example that consistency or good work shows. Whether that you can stay relevant for years, that's just the best to say. Because I mean, whether you're working, whether you're not working, whether we know you're doing something and you're not showing us or you're not doing anything, the fact that you've sustained something for that amount of time, your relevance till tomorrow, even I mean, it's a lot of years ago that we stopped this show, and
Yeah.
till tomorrow, once you call Frank Edoho, everybody wants to say something, everybody has something to say. So first of all, I just want to let people know, or let you in particular know, that you are proof. You are one of the few that is proof that it is good. You can stay and you can be relevant for years and years and years, no matter what you're doing, whether you decide to hide, whether you decide to dabble into something else that is not what you're doing before. So for that, we say thank you for
Yeah.
being somebody that we
Thank,
could all identify with as kids,
thank
for making.
people. If they're entertainment, please I hear about people, the longevity of people in the industry. I was on another IG live. They were saying, and I stay relevant. Everybody, I said, I'm sorry, everybody that goes into this, how they're still asking how they're going to stay relevant. That fame. whole, wholesome entertainment. Your creation, whatever you're creating, you do it to utmost level that you can, and make sure it you are already, every time you are tweaking it and making it more exciting, then
Yeah.
the relevance will just come in, because you will now leave an indelible mark on
Mhm.
someone. They see it and they'll know that, oh, this content, this thing is different. I like it. And the way you carry it is a sum of all parts. And that will cause the relevance to come. But please, when anybody goes and says, oh, this is, I want to stay relevant, you will not. You will not. You'll just fade out, you know. But that's my own piece of advice, you know. But what you're doing, so let me ask you now instead. Now, what this thing you're doing now, you're gonna take it to the next level. What are you
Oh,
gonna do?
yes, I am. I am. I mean, we'll talk about it offline. I'm not
Look,
going to tell you what's the
yeah,
plan. Just
you
said.
you you know, you should when you do it, it's good practice now that you're doing it live. You know, when now you now sit down and you are doing stuff, you know, there are things that you would, you know, you could do on TV. There are many ways. You see, you have to explore the world and find out what's happening to the world, so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel all over again. There are many things. Maybe the thing you are looking for, someone is doing it. Now, when you see it, it clicks. You say, okay, I can do this, but I can tweak it this
Yeah.
way with my audience and everything. So you have to do a lot of exploration and find out what is happening in the world, what people are doing, because those people have walked that path and they have created that content. Then you can add to it and make it your own. I mean, no idea is original, you know. So, but you can add to it to make it yours and apply your signature on whatever you're doing. So, from this, it's very engaging. You know how to engage someone. So you should try and think how you can take it to the next level and do it. After the pandemic, you see, you know, continue with it, and before you know it, you know, everybody's going to be talking about it and say, hey, what makes her different, you know. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah,
you. So
no
thank
problem.
you for the Chim'Ny. We
Yeah,
appreciate you. We love you. And like I said, we miss you on TV. We hope to
yeah.
see you soon. We hope to
I,
hear you on video too.
yeah, I
Guess
will.
what? Once your show starts, I don't know how we're going to do it, but I'm going to be on that show.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
of
saying it
course.
now. This is for me. So people are hearing. So it's not tomorrow. Chamaka, did we discuss this? I'm using I'm checking it now. So thank you so much for coming, Frank. And
Thank-
like I was saying last week, we're going to stop live soon. I mean, we're now becoming not as often as we used to, because now I figured that I was the only one being paranoid about movements. Everybody's moving up and down like as if nothing is happening. So I figure I can now go out and shoot what I need to shoot outdoor, go and meet people and interview them face to face, you know, and do my vlog properly or do the interview sessions properly. So now we're going to take it personally, not just via live sessions, apart from people that I can't reach.
Still
What
be,
did you say?
because this thing, the thing that shook me recently was when Dan Foster died. You know, it really shook me. It just showed me everything. It showed me what is life and everything. That guy was, you know, a game changer, and he had a family. And, you know, because of this same thing, because of everybody moving like this, you just don't know what may happen. You just don't know. And so all of a sudden, you don't know whether you will be able to take it, you know. So you have to be careful. The pandemic is real. Let nobody kid you. Just because people are walking around, it doesn't mean that it's not there. It's there. It is there. So we have to be very careful. Use your mask, stay safe, and try to apply social distancing in whatever you do, because that thing is there. Is there. Leave Nigerians. Nigerians can say, oh, they are in a hurry to go back to Quilox. Nigerians are in a hurry to go back.
I agree. I agree.
That's the thing. That's the one. Oh, let's get back. Let's get back. It's not. It's not. It's not like that. It's not like that. That thing is the. If that thing killed Dan Foster and killed a couple of other people, you know that it is there. The thing is that there's a 50-50 chance your body might fight it. Your body
Hmm.
might. Some people had it and they didn't know, went away. You understand? But are we willing to take everybody safe? You know. All
I
right.
mean, I stayed for complete 4 months. I didn't come out from February till June or thereabouts. I wasn't stepping out. you know.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you must, yes, that's why I said I think I was the only one that was that paranoid. Then I saw people were going and people were shooting and everything. In my head, I'm like, okay, life has to go on. You have to keep making money. People are not being paid anymore. Like you said, people's salaries are slashed.
Yes.
Job
Yeah.
make money because you can't continue staying indoors. How do you stock? How do you eat? How do you stay indoors? And you want to continue surviving if you don't go out to work, you know? So we can only do the best we can and pray to God at the end of the day because we must go out, we must make money. There's no other way. Because if I stay in this house in December, how am I sure I will survive this? What will I eat in December if I decide I'm not going to step out of my house? It was so bad I don't come out of my compound. Except maybe somebody's delivering something. I didn't even know what my street or my estate looked like. But now everybody, you can only vouch for yourself. You can't be sure of the other person, you're sure of only yourself. Because somebody was telling me the other day somebody or the toll gate hide it and they didn't dismiss this person. So I'm leaving my house, maybe I drive, I'm sanitizing, I'm carrying my mask, and I collect money, and that's how it's being passed. So no matter how careful you are, there's always somebody that you cannot vouch for. It's only yourself you know. So who would have guessed that passing money would have given some other people COVID and they didn't say anything, they never put it on the news, they just switched to people, reshuffle them and continue. Different families, people had it, they were giving it to their families. I mean, I heard that thing. I started looking for how to make change so that I don't have to collect change. I'll just give them exact.
Take change. Yeah.
How long can you do that for? Where do I want to see people that are going to check? So it's just like I said, my own. I've just told God, you know what? I will pray and I will go out because there's nothing else you can do. People have to resume work, or you that they didn't sack, will you say, okay, because of COVID, I don't want to work anymore. I'm afraid of COVID. How are you going to survive when the people that are being sacked are praying that they give them that job? You know, so it's just crazy, but we'll do the best we can and we'll still have to work. That's
We still.
it. It's work.
Yeah. But careful, shall be careful.
Oh, definitely.
All right.
Definitely.
Thank you for
Thank you
having me.
so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for coming on the show. And we'll see you. I will come and look for you in this COVID and interview you.
Yeah. No problem. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank you so much. Good night.
Take care.